Hi you guys, so I am back with another video tutorial, and today we are going to be making template 91 here, which is the smaller version of my template 44 Marigold, which is this one right here. So there is already a new tutorial that I posted on template 44, and then template 43, which is this other Marigold style flower. Her tutorial is already available as well here on YouTube, so I figured I have one more Marigold to do tutorial, which will be this one for template 91. Pretty much assembled the same way as this one right here, but as you can see, I did something a little different with her. Typically I do a solid color just like this one right here, but I kind of wanted to follow along what I did here with template 43, where I layer the petals to give it a two-toned look. So that is what we're going to be doing today, just to show you the technique if you are interested in doing that. And like I said, this is a very small template. If you watch the video for template 44, this template comes with 15 petals. This one is just for little mini ones, so you do get 6 petals. Okay, I think the smallest you're going to be able to make is roughly around 4 or 5 inches, and then the largest roughly around 9. All right, you guys, so we're going to be making this size right here, which is roughly around the 9-inch, and she was done using the larger petals. Now typically, like I said, I do the solid color just like template 44, which would require 3 petals. Now with template 44, because you do receive 15 petals, I do 4 different petals. So for the Marigold, there's going to be 4 layers: 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, and then the center. So with template 44, because you get so many petals, I do tend to use 4 petals, 1 for each layer. But because with template 91, you only receive 6 petals, I do double up the largest petal, okay? And the largest petal will be for your first layer and your second layer, and then your other 2 petals will be for your third and fourth layer. Okay, so with this template I do just do 3, but because we are doing the layering technique here, you are going to end up using 4 petals. Okay, but again, if you just want to strictly do the solid one, just do 3 petals. And there is another video tutorial on here on strictly on template 91 if you are interested. I think I posted that last year roughly around this time, but let me go ahead and show you what the template looks like. So as I said, you're going to receive 6 petals. So as you can see, they are mini, they are small, and you are also going to receive 3 base circles. Okay, so, and in just like with template 15, obviously your larger petals are going to go with the larger base. Your smaller petal are going to go, or your smaller petals will go with the smaller base, and then middle petals will go with your middle base. Okay, now for today we're going to be making this one, but if you're interested in making the smaller version one, I did use the smaller base, and I used the first 4 small petals. Okay, so these are the petals I used to make this one right here. If you are interested in this one, that's the one we're doing today, you are going to need your larger base circle, and you are going to need the first 4. Now for these 2 layers right here, it is going to require these 2 petals right here. Okay, so the larger and then the second largest, because that's going to go in between. Okay, so these are going to be for your 2 layers on the bottom. For your third layer, you're going to omit the largest, and you're going to keep this one and then bring in the third largest. Okay, so that's going to be for your third layer. You're then going to get rid of this one, keep this one, bring in the smallest one, and that is going to be for your top layer in the inner center. Okay, and typically you just need 3 petals for the inner part. Okay, now I am using, because this is getting layered, I am using text weight paper. So this is from Michael's. Okay, so Michael's did just I want to say a couple months, or maybe not even a year, but they have started selling text weight paper. So normally they sell 65-pound cardstock, but they have brought in text weight now, which is pretty fabulous. So that is what I use to prep my petals, is text weight paper. Okay, so it's very flimsy. Now, you could do 65-pound cardstock weight if you wanted to. Personally, it's too heavy when you start layering cardstock over cardstock. So you could get away with it. It's just, the flour just becomes really heavy, and then trying to prep and roll, it just becomes too much. Now, I mean, if you wanted to do cardstock and then text weight, so maybe one of the colors do cardstock and the other one text weight, that would 100% work. I've just worked with cardstock over cardstock, and let me tell you, it's especially when you're rolling the petals, it can get a little tough sometimes, because obviously then the weight becomes heavier. Okay, so let me show you. I mean, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory as to what you need to do here, but we are going to just glue these together. So typically what I use is a brayer. Okay, so this is going to help me roll the petals, and then I need to find my glue. I'll be right back. Oh, actually, no, it's right here. So this is the goo, my goodness, the glue that I use. It is by Barely Arts. Okay, so I did purchase this off Amazon. This is my go-to. Now, you could also use glue sticks if you have glue sticks around. I just tend to like this one just because I feel like if you're going to use glue sticks, definitely stick to the crafting type of glue stick, because I feel like that adheres better compared to just like the regular glue sticks. But this is my go-to. I absolutely love this. It dries very quickly, and it dries clear, which is nice. So what I like to do is just a couple of dots around the back, just like that. Let me do some down here. And then you're gonna layer this right on top. Now, I kind of focus going down, okay, not so much in the center, just because I want to see more of like this orangey part, so I tend to go a little bit down. Do you see that? Right, so now get your brayer. If you don't have this, it's okay. I just like to roll it just to make sure that glue is adhering. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now you need a wooden dowel. So get yourself a wooden dowel or something to curl with. Let me move this out of the way. And you are going to give this a curl. So see how the petal is already kind of shaping inward? That is what you want, because now we're going to make a cone on the bottom. Hold on, I need to curl in here real quick. There we go. So now you are going to get your glue gun, add glue. Do you see that? Pinch, and I'm pinching this down like this. You want to flatten that. And then get your wooden dowel. Now carefully roll the petal back. So this is what you want right here. Okay, so again, she's assembled exactly like template 44 if you had her. All right, and this is what you should have. Okay, so my petals are all prepped. So obviously with your largest one, because you are doubling up the layers, you're going to need more compared to the other ones. So with the smallest one, roughly, I find that I tend to use 3. For the third layer, I tend to use between 5 or 6. So I stuck with 5. If I need to make more, I will. And then for these right here, I did end up making 21. So we're gonna see if I'm gonna need more or less. And that is up to you. I mean, not up to you, but depending on how you roll the petals will determine how many you're gonna use. So if you tend to roll your petals a little bit more wider, then obviously they're gonna take more space, where if you roll them a little bit more closed in, then obviously you're gonna need more petals, okay? But just follow the same technique. I don't want you to stress out if you're not using the same amount as I am, okay? So to get started, what you're gonna do, we're gonna start off with the largest ones. You're gonna add glue to the bottom, just like that. And then glue her down, just like that. And your goal here is just to go around in a circle. I'm gonna curl this one back a little bit more. And you want to make sure that you're not leaving so much space. You want to make sure that this end meets with this end right here. And the circle, you want to use the same color. You could do either one. I did the same color as the first layer, the orangey color. And this is what I mean. Notice how this petal is a lot wider than this one. So obviously, like I said, depending on how you roll your petals will determine how many you will need. And typically, like for the first layer, I do tend to anywhere between 12 to 15. I think the last one that I made this size, I ended up using 12 for that first layer. So that's where I'm kind of basing it, but I could end up using more. All right, I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in 2 more. Maybe 3, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna probably squeeze that one there. And let me see if I can find, oh, these are all wide. Well, let's squeeze. We're just gonna squeeze that one in right there. All right, so there is the first layer. So I think I did more than 12. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I ended up 13 with this one, okay? So then now you're gonna repeat, you're gonna do the same ones, the same size, and you are gonna start going in between the petals. So that's kind of, I use that as a guide, and then from there you're just going to go around in a circle and glue them. Hopefully I have enough. And I definitely recommend having a wooden dowel near you. Just because as we get to the top petals, it's good to use it to press down. All right, feeling I'm probably gonna need to make one more probably. Or maybe two more, let's see. All right, so it looks like I need one more right here. So let me go ahead and get that one done and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I am done with that second layer. So we are on to the third layer. So now this is going to be the next size. And we're gonna do the same thing where we're gonna start in between. So this is where a wooden dowel comes in handy. In between some petals, and then just go around in a circle. Now I did end up making 5. Let's hope it's only 5, but I have a feeling we're probably gonna need one more. Actually, I think just 5. Yep, just 5. All right, and there you go. This is what you should have, like that. So now we are on to the last size, which is your smaller ones. Definitely get yourself a wooden dowel because it's kind of hard to stick your fingers in there. And you are just gonna stick these wherever you want. You're just trying to cover up the little gaps that you see. Squeeze this one in right here. Trying to get this wooden dowel in here. And let's see if I can squeeze this one right in here. All right, and you are all done with the marigold. All right, you guys, so there she is. I added her over here. And that concludes my tutorial, my little series on the marigold flowers. That was the last tutorial I needed to do with my template 91. Isn't she adorable? Love it. So now these flowers are actually going to go downstairs. I'm going to be making a Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, ofrenda altar. So I'm going to be using these as a floral display. So I'm super excited about that because I've never really made one here at home. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out. But yes, templates for either 44, 43, or 91 can be found on my Etsy, Ariel Elise Designs. You will get the SVG and the PDF for all of them. So if you purchase template 91, you'll get the SVG and PDF. 43 as well, you'll get the SVG PDF, and then 44 you will also get the PDF and SVG. If you have any questions, you can email me at my email, ariellisedesigns@gmail.com, or my Etsy. I'm pretty quick with Etsy responding. If you have any issues with downloads, also message me and I'm happy to help, okay? And I will chat with you guys later. Bye.